What's going on, Sag? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazi, the Pivot Kelly Reader. This is going to be your new moon solar eclipse message. This one, however, is going to be a bit different, okay? This one in particular, we are tackling about our fears, okay? So Spirit guided me to do this reading for all the signs, because given what's, supposed to be, I won't say supposed to be, but things that have been predicted that may or may not happen on the 8th, okay? There's a lot of fear-mongering basically going on. And I'm not saying that there's no reason to just, not worry or be concerned. At the very least, be prepared. That's what I want to, I guess encourage you, just to be as prepared as you possibly can be for what may or may not happen. But so in that, I feel like it's important for us to identify our fears, what they are, what we can work through, right? So this message is going to be in particular about what fears is this new moon solar eclipse asking you? What is it bringing up or servicing for you to look at? What fears are you being asked at this time to identify, acknowledge, work through, heal, and release? Okay. And then, how that may be challenging you, and what is at least one way that you can work through your fears, and also advice from your benevolent ancestors. Okay, so I'm gonna get into this for Sage. I am gonna use I'm shuffling a secondary deck to clarify what I already have out here, and that's just so in the event that the cards would like to repeat themselves or Spirit wants to emphasize a particular message, then it can. Okay, so looking at the bottoms of the deck, Sag, it feels like some of you are concerned about your sense of security, your sense of stability, okay? And rightfully so, right? That's always it's something that's very important to all of us, right? But I feel like it's also presenting an opportunity here to essentially make room, okay? So understanding that anything leaving your life right now, Sag, is simply making room for abundance blessings, okay? I feel like some of you need to know that things are ready to shift for you in a very, very abundant kind of way, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because at the bottoms of the decks, here's what I'm starting with. You have Anam Kara, unconditional love, okay? Soulmates, appreciation, unchanging, devoted. Underneath that is the wheel of karma, dharma, okay? So that's one thing, right? But then you also have cornucopia, okay? With regeneration, security, all right? And underneath the regeneration is milk and honey, all right? So it's like divine timing is at play here, okay, Sag? So it feels like some of you, if there's anything that you're experiencing some type of loss with and you're worried or concerned, there's a fear around, well, how am I going to, make rent? How am I going to pay this? Or how am I going to, do this? And all these things, you're being asked to really trust right now. And that doesn't mean do nothing. That means trust what you are being guided to do, and knowing that even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, or even if the steps aren't yet laid out in front of you and made clear, that they will be, okay? And that whatever you are guided to do, even if it doesn't make sense, or like, how is that supposed to get me to here? You don't need to know. You just need to follow the guidance that you're receiving and trust that it will take you where you need to go, okay? So as it pertains to your fears and what those might be for some of you, we have career that came in reverse, okay? So some of you, this definitely could be like a job loss of some sort. So some of you, like I said, maybe I'm getting a concern of whether or not you're going to get another job. Some of you there may be a fear of losing your job, okay? Some of you may be kind of like, if I'm late one more time, I might get fired, or, it's like something like that surrounding your work. Others of you, this has to do with, there's a fear that something that you're investing in as it's relating to your career, like going in a new direction, starting a business, something like that, that it's not going to work. There's a fear there with that. Okay. And so then we have 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. Okay. That's your third eye. Okay. And we have strategy that came out, and then card number 7 with your sign, Sag, White Rabbit. All right, so this is spark of curiosity, spiritual awakening. It's time, heeding the call. Okay, so what this is giving me, Sag, and all that is clarified by the King of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, I'm getting I'm getting this two ways. For some of you, this could be a personal thing, right? Others of you, has to do with the spouse. For some of you, your masculine energy may have just lost their job, or there's a fear that they may lose their job. Okay. But regardless, this is a time for you to really pull on your own inner strength here. This is giving you an opportunity to reconnect with, your spirit team, with your own like inner spirit, like your own intuition, basically. Okay. So, because I feel like when you do that, when you're in alignment internally, meaning spiritually, everything else in this 3D realm falls into place. You have to know that your spiritual, your energetic, I don't know why the word, I know Mercury retrograde is really testing me right now. I'm not blaming it, but it's really, it's doing what it needs to do. It's trusting that it's like when you get your own energetic bodies in alignment, okay, your own feminine and masculine energy within internally, it will reflect itself externally. Okay. I'll just put it like that. So where for some of you, there's a fear that you're not going to make, the money you need to make, or you're, like I said, going to lose a job, or something isn't going to work out, but you're being asked to really follow your intuition at this time. Some of you are not giving your own intuitive guidance enough credit for its ability to support you, for its ability to guide you and lead you properly in the right direction. Okay. So I feel like, like I said, some of you, there's this like fear of, maybe due to a past experience where you didn't trust yourself, right? So then you have a hard time now trusting that, well, I did that before and it didn't work, right? That doesn't mean that this is going to repeat itself, right? That it may have just not been the right time. And for some of you, that is exactly what this is about. It's about timing. Divine timing is at play here, okay? And the reason why I say that as well is because underneath this Anam Kara card, okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is your card, the Wheel of Karma, okay? Divine timing is at play, but underneath that as well, that wasn't the card I was looking at. Where did that card go? I know I'm not tripping. Oh, under the regeneration, my bad. Under the regeneration card, TikTok. Okay, so that's all those are about divine timing. It was the wrong deck that I was thinking of. So anyway, but like I said, so Karma card on top of TikTok, all right? That means that divine timing is at play here. So if something didn't work out before, it just may have not been the right time. There may be still things that you still had to do, or other things you still had to experience, maybe other tools you had to get on your belt before that actually, came to be in its full capacity, right? So understand that just because something didn't work before, it just wasn't the right time. Maybe you didn't know enough. Maybe it would have been a greater fall or a greater loss, if you want to call it that, than it would have been had you, gotten further. All right, my bad, Sag. Ran out of space. So luckily I caught it before I got too far. I noticed it before I got too far in the message. So anyway, what I was saying is, for some of you, if it's like there's a concern about something not being the right time, right? So what I was saying is about, it's like you may not have, it's like whatever didn't work out before was basically just giving you more time to get more tools under your belt, giving you more experience for some of you. Okay. But now I feel like some of you may be guided to quit your job. And for some of you, that is terrifying the shit out of you. Okay. I completely understand. I completely understand. You know why? Because I've been there. 2019, I was guided right before that vid whole thing, okay, got into the craziness that it became. I was guided to quit my job at the hospital right before all that shit happened. Literally, like right before March. I quit March 6th of that year of 2019, right before everything. And I think everything hit like April, May, something like that. So anyway, I quit right then and have been somehow, okay, making it ever since. All right. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That was 5 years ago now. That like, holy shit, I didn't realize it's been that long. So I'm just saying, Sag, don't discount and downplay what's possible for you. Okay. I get it. It might be scary, especially for those of you where this is hitting you. And that makes a lot of sense, actually, that some of y'all are being called to your spiritual awakening. Some of you are going through an awakening. This eclipse for some of you, that could be what's happening, is where it's putting you through a spiritual awakening. And next thing you know, you're going to be guided to quit your job. Okay. And some of you might need to, for sake of survival purposes. You might need to quit, right? And if that's what you're guided to do, especially if they try to bring back another round of mandates, I highly recommend you do it. Okay, don't do it. I'm just saying, don't do it. Don't take the jabby wabby. Don't do it. Okay, no, but for real. So if there's, so I feel like for some of you, you know, if there's things that you feel like, well, you know, that you're worried or concerned about, this is your opportunity to come up with some type of strategy, okay? And really follow your intuition about what that is. So if you're guided to start saving money, do that. If you're guided to start, you know, kind of like re-upping on water, or, you know, I got one of those Patriot, the brand is Patriot Company or whatever, and it's like, you know, 4 times, like, you know, like we're talking about, where people are really worried about if there's going to be food, and if we have an outage, how are they going to eat, and all those things. Get you one of those. They make them in different sizes, so if you don't have a lot to invest in that, you can start somewhere. Okay, so this is just kind of like using your resources, but not doing it from a place of fear, doing it from a place of, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay, it's just simple preparation. Okay, I'm not here to instill any more fear than the fucking media and the rest of the world is already doing for us. We don't need any of that shit. We ain't here for that. Okay, so I'm gonna clarify as I go, just to you know, for time saving purposes. I feel like it makes more sense, so that way too the messages will actually flow, I feel like, a bit better. So let's clarify this King of Cups. But I also feel like this King of Cups for you, Sag, is whether this is about someone that you're dealing with, or whether this is about yourself. Okay, for those of you like myself that are single, this is about doing your best to stay emotionally balanced. Okay, doing your best to stay as, you know, as even keel on emotional front as possible, because anything you project or give emotion to amplifies it. It's not just your thoughts, it's the motion backing it, that energy in motion that backs it, that drives it forward. Okay, so if you're already fearful of something and you back that with emotion, it just makes it 10 times worse. Okay, so let's see. Most High, what is this King of Cups? Why is it here for Sag? What is that about? Why is King of Cups here for Sag, please? And I just wanted to say real fast, because I did forget to say this earlier at your at the beginning of your video, for those of you that have stuck around, okay, and didn't unsubscribe just because I had to take a few days to honor the cycles of my body. Thank you for still being here. I appreciate you so much. I really do. It's kind of wild how that shit happens, but no mistakes, right? So clarifying the King of Cups is the 6 of Pentacles. All right. So it feels like some of you Sagittarius are kind of like concerned that you're not going to have maybe the support. And this could be for some of you the support of your spouse, the support of your partner. Okay. Or I feel like some of you, it's giving me this energy of some of you may be guided to quit your job or something. And there's a fear that your partner is not going to support you, whether they have it to give or they just don't agree with why you're doing it. There's going to be an opportunity here where you're going to have to choose. Okay. However, you have to also know though, that again, we have cornucopia at the bottom. So what you don't see is that in you making this decision and trusting what you're being guided to do, trusting the universe by heeding the call that you're being called to make. Okay. You don't have to worry about that, right? You don't have to worry. Your needs will be met. You will be taken care of. Why? Because you are unconditionally fucking loved. We already talked about that. Okay. You are unconditionally loved. All right. Infinite love, unchanging. It's like the universe is not, there's nothing that can change how much the universe supports you. So you have to know that. Okay. Don't let, you know, the fear of not having security, stability, whatever, you know, and I get it from a human standpoint, that's difficult to say, right? But trust me, I've been there too. Okay. Trust me. But you'll be surprised the way things just kind of work themselves out. And you're like, holy shit. I didn't, you know, like I couldn't have expected that to come in that way or at this time, right? Without even having to try or ask for it. You'd be surprised. Trust me. So how this may be challenging you guys right now. We have winter and we have fulfillment and another 7, Scorpio energy, the universe. Okay. So let me just point out real fast, 2 7s here, 7 7. And I'm gonna get into this other one here in a bit. So 7 7 may be a number of significance, and literally I swear at least 3 of the other readings that I've done so far, which has only been 4 others, or now 5 others, I want to say at least 3 or 4 of those 5 all had heavy 7 7s. Like the Leo reading I'm pretty sure did, the Libra reading definitely did, So it's heavy on the sevens, and the sevens, my life path is a seven. So some of you may be life path 7 as well. If you are, obviously there's a message here for you. Otherwise, the 7 is the spiritual path, very spiritual journey. So some of you, like I said, are going through this awakening. Some of you, this is in preparation for that. It's taking you to your journey, like putting you on your path. For others of you, this is like if you've been derailed or kind of like just been more focused on the practical but less on your spiritual. This is kind of like essentially the universe's way, right? Universe putting you back on track. Okay. And there may be fear around that. You know, we don't know what's on the other side of our awakening, right? But you have to know that if it's presented itself to you, it's because it's time. It's your time. Okay, Sag. So source, infinite, unending, creation, higher perspective, big picture, all that is, creative force, law of one, awakening. Again, 2 cards. So 2 cards back to back, 7, both have awakening in them. Okay. So some of you Sages, this is challenging you because you're going through essentially awakening, where some of you are shedding old layers. With this Winter card here, some of you, this is going to be maybe challenging for you because it's essentially stripping away maybe the old versions of you, especially the parts of you that you know don't serve, that maybe never even belonged to you, but were projected onto you from other people, or those parts of us that we essentially took on by the people around us, or because of our wounds and patterns and unhealed experiences, right? So that may be challenging you, but you know, for some of you, it's like this energy of like, you know, it has to do with like your happiness. Okay, will I get what I want out of this though? Like, you know, it's like some of you aren't really seeing the way ahead by allowing this process. Okay, and that's where you're being guided again to, you know, trust in source, trust in the infinite energy that provides for everything, that provides for all your needs, always has, always will. Okay, so it's a matter of allowing yourself to see things from a higher perspective, shifting your perspective about what you feel like you're losing. So for those of you that, like I said, are maybe finding yourself, you know, come this eclipse, you're finding yourself without a job, just know it's a part of the process. This is a part of the timing of your path. It's time for this to have happened the way it is. So I'm not projecting that onto anybody and saying that's what's going to happen, but that's what Spirit is giving me right now for some of you. That if that is the case, why that career card is in reverse, why it feels like maybe things aren't working. And oh, let's not forget that Mercury just went fucking retrograde. Okay, let's not forget that factor, right? So that, you know, plays its own hand in this whole thing. Okay, so there's just a lot going on, but just know that your needs will always be met. You will always be provided for. And if anything, like I said, this is just simply redirecting you, putting you back on your path, reconnecting you to Spirit. Okay. So clarifying that energy is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, it feels like some of you, has to do with your passion, your drive. Okay. Some of you may be losing a job because if that's what it is because like that's just an example that if you're like, let's say losing a job or you got fired or something or being laid off, and it's because it's like you weren't happy there anyway. You weren't passionate there. You couldn't thrive there, right? So is it really a loss? If you weren't at your best, you weren't able to give your all or be appreciated the way you deserve to be appreciated there. Like, is it really a loss? I don't think so, right? So clarify the Knight of Wands, Spirit for Sag. Why is that here, please? Wow. Another fucking 7, you guys. 7 of Pentacles and it flipped in reverse. Because you're not growing here. Some of you, that's why this is a challenge, is because it's like you're not happy here anyway. Okay, some of you are not happy, and that's why it's like Spirit this feels like divine intervention is what this feels like for some of you, Sag. So some of you have a fear of leaving because of the security it gives you, but you're not happy, you're not growing, you're not thriving. The investment that you're making isn't paying off. So it's like, it feels like if you're not willing to do it, Spirit is going to do it for you. I'm just saying. So let's just make it clear though. I told you guys earlier, I don't know why my camera keeps turning off. I don't understand it. So anyway, I'm gonna just try to keep going. So anyway, the 7, like I just was saying, 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so it's like these 7s keep showing up prominent for you guys here. Okay, so I'm only saying be mindful of that these 7s ain't no mistake. That's the spiritual path, the spiritual journey. So what is at least one way that you can overcome these fears? Okay, so we have the Fates, again, another card talking about karma. All right, and then we have To the Sea, which is another fucking 7, Sag. Okay, O to the MG, Sag. I'm just trying to get through your video. I'm just saying, I swear to God, it better not turn off again. Anyway, So while I was waiting for this to, the last 10 minutes to upload, okay, I set and I counted all the sevens. All right. So let me just show y'all real fast. So what we were just talking about, okay, right before the video cut off again, is the fates. Okay. How you can, at least one way you can navigate these fears. Okay. The fates, knowing that everything is, happening exactly how it's supposed to, is destined. Things are playing out exactly how it needs to. Okay. And we have to the sea, which is actually the 7. Okay. So some of you may be seeing 717. That could be a number of significance. We have mending, card 52, which is another 7. Okay. All that energy is clarified by the 7 of Pentacles with the Mother, Love, and Chariot at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So I counted, there's 7 sevens here, Sag. Some of y'all might be like past 7 like myself. I'm just saying. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Y'all got 7 cards with 7s on them. All right. I'm just saying that if that ain't a number of significance, I don't know what the hell is, Sag. I don't know. So anyway, so yeah. And then we also have corset, held together, boundaries, following the rules, perfect posture, holding it together, shapeshift, people pleaser, support. Okay. So some of you, this is talking about how we can overcome. So I feel like it's going to be important for you to have boundaries with whatever you're investing into. Okay. Whatever time, energy, effort, this is about analyzing. Is it working? Is what I'm giving my time, energy, and effort into, is it yielding results? Am I growing? Am I thriving? Is it working? Right? This is how you're going to get past whatever it is that you're doing. Is maybe looking at your, if this has to do with your income and you're trying to figure out how am I going to quit my job, but I don't have any income, or, whatever, this is where you're being guided to start downsizing. That's where the strategy comes in, right? Start looking at your subscriptions. Where can I minimize what I'm putting extra money towards that I don't really need? Where am I eating out too much, where I can start cooking more, where I know exactly what's going into my food, right? These are the things, this is like kind of the times we're in right now, is going back to the basics to a point, right? It's not with everything, no, but, we got to be mindful. So let's clarify the 7 of Pentacles for Sag. So annoying because now I have to keep my eye on that thing. Look at this shit. See what I'm saying, Sag? Look, 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of motherfucking Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like this is investing in your legacy. This is being focused on the long term. Focus on, what you can basically invest in now that you can leave behind later. Okay. Like thinking long term, longevity. What can you leave for the bloodline? I'm not saying that's what we need to be focusing on, but for some of you, this is your indication to, do your best to go with the flow at this time. Okay. The mending, I feel like that's talking about kind of like, forgiving yourself. Okay. Forgiving yourself where it's needed. If there are people around you that you feel like you can kind of like, patch the bridge up with, so to speak, then do that. Okay. If there's somebody that that could help you, but you guys may have had a falling out, this may be a good opportunity to try to patch that connection back up together. That's not going to be for everyone, but this is the time to do it, where if it especially had to do with communication, like I said, Mercury is in retrograde now. So, this is a time where things from the past are coming back up that you can decide, is this worth me, salvaging? Is it salvageable? Can it be salvaged? Is it worth salvaging? Is it worth, fixing, right? This is the time to really analyze those things and focus on what you're wanting for the long term. What are you trying to leave behind? What are you trying to leave, for your kids, or, for yourself, whatever, however that works. But I feel like some of you, that you're really being asked at this time to really start investing in the long term. So if that means setting up a trust, do that. If that means, investing in stocks or something that that can just grow over time, like a CD or something that they have at certain banks, do that. Like, do your research, obviously, because I'm no financial advisor. I'm not trying to tell you, give you financial advice. I'm just giving you, these are ideas, examples, suggestions. All right. So let's get some quick advice from the Sag's benevolent ancestors. Okay. Who else also got this card? Anyway, unconditional love. See, and I was going to put it back, but I'm glad I didn't, because now you got 2 cards, Sag, of unconditional love. The first keyword in this card says unconditional love, and that's the main one in this one, unconditional love. Okay. Y'all need to know you're unconditionally loved, meaning that you are loved beyond conditions, meaning that there is not a damn thing you can do, say, not have, whatever, that you're not going to be completely loved and taken care of by your spirit team. Okay. So then we have crystal blessings, 8. Okay. with the 8, with the karma. All right. You have blessings that are coming in, Sag. Okay. With the cornucopia. This is stuff that you may not even be seeing, but you need to know that you are blessed beyond measure. You are loved beyond measure. That means that you're going to be taken care of regardless. That means that even if it doesn't seem like it, even if you don't know how, you don't need to always know how. Sometimes that's just you. Your guides are telling you, you just need to trust. Okay. You just need to fucking trust. All right. So I'm not going to take these just because, but they did fly out to the side, but I'm just going to read you what they do say, because I feel like it's important. So soul awakening. Okay, we already had that with the spirit, with the awakening twice, and now you have soul awakening coming out again. See what I'm saying? Like the messages are repeating, Sag. Okay, and then we have going within, and at the bottom of the deck now we have the hermit. Okay, so 2 cards about going within, spending time with yourself. All right, and then we have cleansing. Okay, so some of you, this is about cleansing your mind, cleansing your thoughts, getting near water. Some of you, that's another indication of this to the sea card. Okay, getting around water, getting in water if you can. Like me living in Cali, it's kind of still cold right now, but if you have salt water to get into, please do it. There's nothing that you won't benefit from not doing that. Like you will definitely benefit by jumping in some salt water because it's very cleansing. So it's very healing as well. But just know that everything is happening in divine timing. Okay. So this is about also being patient, taking your time, investing, being mindful of where you're investing your time, energy, and efforts. What are you investing in? Who are you investing in? Who are you allowing around you, right? And making sure that whatever you are investing in, it actually is growing. Even if it's taking its time, just know that you're on the right track. You're on the right path. Okay. You have to trust that everything has its time. So, this is an opportunity for you to just trust the process and not be scared of what you can't see. And I'm going to give you one of my most favorite quotes ever is lack of evidence does not mean evidence of lack. I'm going to repeat that for you. Lack of evidence does not mean evidence of lack. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Just because you don't always have your eye on exactly what's growing doesn't mean nothing is happening. Nothing isn't happening underneath the soil. Okay. So, one more last thing, hopefully before it cuts off again. I'm going to get you guys a timeline card, okay? So, ask a question, pause the video if you need to, what you would like to know a time frame for, all right? For Sag. What is the time frame for Sag? I can give them. So, around Valentine's Day, 2 came out. So, around Valentine's Day within 2 weeks. Holy shit, Sag. Holy shit, Sag, okay? Like I said, so around Valentine's Day, so this could be sometime next year for some of you. Others of you, 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, okay? So some of you, like I said, have been stressing about something, but you have to know that things are balancing out, okay? So at the bottom of the deck, the 2 of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups, okay? Things are balancing out in a way better than you could even imagine. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Things, like I said, are about to fucking change. Okay, a Scorpio may be of significance to some of you, but otherwise, life is changing. You are going through a transformation. You have to know that you will come out just fine with the 10 of Cups on the other side of that. Okay, look. See what I'm saying? 8 of Wands. That's great news. Things moving forward, progressing. So it's like I feel like it feels like you're not even gonna miss a beat, Sag. So even if for those of you that are worried about losing a job or being fired or maybe just even whatever is happening on the planet just kind of like takes shit out and you don't have a job anymore, you have to know that the universe is working things out, okay, within 2 weeks. So just even if it's like something that you're trying to manifest or build towards, give it 2 weeks. Just give it 2 weeks and see what happens. Maybe you're being guided to talk to your guides more. Give them 2 weeks to show you, evidence that it actually works, whatever that is for you, okay? Give it 2 weeks, all right? So that's what I have for you, Sag. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, following, all the good stuff. And until next time.